Get away from her, you bitch!
Hello everyone, welcome to another video talking geeky stuff with me, Tenchi. Today I'm going to talk about James Cameron, one of my favorite filmmakers, directors of all time. But before that, I want to wish everyone a happy new year. Is it too late to say happy new year now? Anyway, but wishing everyone having a good start to the new year and looking forward to 2022 with all the geeky stuff that is coming soon. Anyway, let's get back to the topic. James Cameron. As I mentioned, in my opinion, one of my favorites and probably one of the greatest directors of all time, because he does my favorite genre and he does it the best: sci-fi action movies. Yeah, so if you look at these 7 films here, one way or the other, he kind of revolutionized the film industry. From special effects to makeup effects, animatronics, even the way you film, for example, Avatar, Titanic, creating almost a full-size ship and sinking it. Just things like that he's done. That's probably why his films take so long. Not only that, he's done something so revolutionary that a lot of people forget. That is because as a writer, producer, and a director, he also does very strong, capable female characters, female leads. That is not something that just come out a couple of years ago. He's been doing that for 30 plus years, writing, producing, directing strong women characters. Yeah, funny, huh? Anyway, let's get back to the topic. So, out of all these films here, I would say two of my top two is definitely Terminator 2 and Aliens. And funny enough, they're both sequels. And the saying goes, the sequel is never better than the first one. I think Cameron's one of the few directors that can defy that. Don't get me wrong, if you prefer the first Terminator or Alien, I was like, yeah, great, they're both amazing movies. I just prefer Terminator 2 and Aliens more because, it just has a little bit more action to it. Terminator 2, I would probably edge it as my favorite James Cameron movie. A couple of reasons why is because I remember it the most. I was a teenager when the film came out back in 1991. It was a summer, it was hot. And me and my friends went to see it in the theatre. I remember that. And it was the first time I really, really, really experienced what a true blockbuster was. It was hot outside. It was already hot inside because back then the cinema didn't really have any good air conditioning compared to today. But that didn't stop us. It was so good. Explosions, special effects. Arnie was amazing in that. The soundtrack. Did I mention the special effects? Anyway, did I mention the action again? It was so good. I came out, me and my friends were buzzing, our heads were blown. I actually remember we didn't have no money at that time, so we wanted to go back and watch it again straight afterwards. But, we went back a few days afterwards, watched it again, got blown away again. So that's probably why I still think that is my favorite James Cameron film of all time. One of my favorite Arnie films, one of my favorite sci-fi films, because you can call it nostalgic, but it was the first time I really truly experienced in my life what a true summer blockbuster was. So that's why it's still it holds really dearly to me. But as in saying that, as I mentioned, he's revolutionary. I speak more about it because I know there's a big fuss about having strong female characters as if it's never happened before. I mean, Cameron's done that many, many times. Sarah Connor, look at her transition from the first Terminator to the second Terminator. How she naturally evolved into the natural leader, the badass she is. At the same time, she's also a mother, a leader. She's also very vulnerable, learning from her mistakes. Ultimately winning and beating the big bad with a little help from the TI-100, of course. But overall, She was a strong, powerful female character that wasn't written in your face. You know, it wasn't all over the posters. You know, a female character, etc., etc. It's just a natural progression. It fits the story. You know, if anybody went through in real life what Sarah did in the first term there, you would naturally become a badass in real life. You learn, you toughen up. It's a natural thing. And that's where the biggest mistakes in modern film is. They tend to write something that is not natural, you know. And with all these box office bombs, let's hope Hollywood listens. Same is the story with Ripley from Aliens. From the first Alien, she's a very timid character. From the sequel, natural progression again. If you look at Aliens, she becomes the commander of the military. She had the most experience dealing with these aliens. At the end, what did she do? She beat the queen. She took control of everything. You know, she became a badass. But Cameron didn't deliberately write her that way. It was a natural progression. And she showed vulnerability. She was learning, especially that scene where she's learning from Hicks how to use a pulse rifle. You know, that was an amazing scene. Anyway, enough about me ranting about what is wrong with some of the movies today. Let's go back to the positives. And the positive is, did I mention he's a great director? Another thing he's good at as well. He's also a great producer and a great writer. And here's some of the movies I highlighted that I think everyone should check out as a producer and a writer. Point Break, fantastic movie. Keanu Reeves. Always knew Keanu Reeves from the Bill and Ted's. Always thought he was a bit of like a airhead. And it was Point Break that really got me to think about Keanu. Wow, he could be a good action hero in it. No, which he did. You know, he did Speed afterwards. So that's a great movie. Definitely check it out. Way better than the remake. And that's always another good film. Really underrated. Not many people came out in cinema, but quite limited was Strange Days, starring Ray Fiennes with Angela Bassett and Juliette Lewis. Again, Angela Bassett, she was fantastic. I think she stole the show. Another strong female character in there, you know, without advertising, it is a strong female character. On the topic of Angela Bassett, I remember me and my friends came, you know, watched this film in cinema, and I remember saying that because we heard that 20th Century Fox at that time bought the rights for Marvel's X-Men to make a film. And I just kind of said that after watching Strange Days, I think Angela Bassett would be perfect to play Storm from X-Men. But of course, they went with Halle Berry later on, which I still think today wouldn't be my first choice anyway. But I think it's a shame that Angela Bassett didn't get cast as Storm. And the most latest executive producer he did was Alita, Battle Angel. Oh, by the way, another strong female character. You know, based on the manga anime. I like this because, you know, it had a lot of creative freedom, but at the same time, you had the essence. You know, the film stuck closely to the manga, the anime. So definitely check that out if you haven't. And I'm really looking forward to the sequel. I hope they really do make a sequel to that. And a little known fact, we actually co-wrote Rambo 2 with Stallone. He uncredited, by the way. Yeah, so he wrote that. So he's a great writer in action. Did I mention he's a good action director? Must have said that many times now. Not only that, he also credited for many episodes for TV, like Dark Angel, which I thought was okay. And then you got Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, which is a shame. I really wanted to see them to continue that. I actually really enjoyed that TV show. You know, I found it was a great. They should have stopped that storyline, to be honest with you, because after Terminator 3, because I actually enjoyed Terminator 3, to be honest with you. Not as good as 1 and 2, definitely nowhere near as good as those two, but it was okay. And after that, just, you know, just flopped really. And the last one was it Dark Fate. Oh my god, that's the worst one ever. Hopefully they can. I was really hoping they would do a, like season 2 of, Sarah Connor Chronicles. Maybe, they might remake it. But to be honest with you, I think the Terminator franchise has kind of hit an all-time low. I don't think anyone's interested in another Terminator franchise or anything anytime soon. So I'd rather Terminator franchise take a little of a rest, then come back in 10 years' time or something like that. So, what is next for James Cameron? Avatar, of course. Later this year, really looking forward to Avatar. So he's doing Avatar 2, he's doing Avatar 3, Avatar 4, and Avatar 5. In all honesty, I don't think, it probably sounds bad when I say this, but I don't think we get 4 and 5. I mean, what is Cameron now? He's pushing 70, around 70. I mean, the way he films, he's a perfectionist. He's always thinking of something new. He's waiting for the technology to be right. He takes a lot of time filming. He's not the standard 2-year, 3-year type of director. He takes as long as he wants. He's in that position to 5 years, 6 years down the line. So if you factor in that, so Avatar 2 this year, another 2-3 years for Avatar 3, he'd be pushing 80. Would he have the energy to make 4 and 5? I mean, I hope he does. I really do. I would love to see what he has planned for us. Anyway, my question is to you all: do you think Avatar 2 will be the first $3 billion movie in the box office? Do you think it will beat Avatar 1? Me? I really don't know. But then again, I remember saying that about the first Avatar. My friend asked me all those years ago. He asked me, do you think Avatar will be bigger than Titanic? Because Titanic was the biggest movie of all time that time. And I was confident and said, no, it's not going to be bigger than Titanic. I mentioned that it will be easily around the 1 billion mark, 1.5 billion mark, but nowhere near $2 billion mark. But was I wrong? What did it do? About 2.7 billion? What is it now? It's about nearly 2.9 billion because the recent release last year took it back to number 1. There was a brief moment that Avengers Endgame was number 1, but Cameron took his throne back as the biggest film of all time. But back to my point, I really don't know if it would be as big as the first one or even bigger. Would it be the first $3 billion movie? There's one thing about Cameron, you just can't write him off. You can't write him off, because just look at him as a director. In my opinion, I don't think he's done a bad movie. I mean, his bad movies are considered good compared to other directors. So that's a good question. Let's see by the end of the year how Avatar does. It's definitely going to be in the. It's going to at least make 1.5 billion. That's the least. I would say between 1.5 to maybe 2 billion, 2.2 billion dollars, the low estimate. I really want to see him make a $3 billion movie. Set a new history, a new standard. Anyway, let me know what you think. And I would say thank you for staying to the end, watching me, listening to me. Please like, subscribe, and thanks for watching me. I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. And please stay safe. Goodbye.
Stay here. I'll be back.